And it's the news angle, bitch. Welcome back to another episode.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's your girl, CJ.
Come on. And it's Brandy. And you know what? I'm proud of you, D, for being motherfucking awake. You know what I'm saying, home? For being here. For being here. Up. You all the way up. All the way up.
What BET after school special is this? I don't know.
Welcome to Sita's world.
Teen Summit.
Yes, Teen Summit. Oh my God. Teen fucking Summit.
Teen Summit.
And they'd ask the funniest questions. They'd be up there with their mics. So why do you think the youth is really, participating and smoking marijuana? And
not the youth.
Yeah, it's the youth. And they'd be like, I just think, kids be doing it because they see everybody else doing it. They favorite rapper is doing it. And I'm just watching this shit. And of course, when you're younger, you're just thinking, wow, profound. And then when you're older, you're like, nigga, what? We all do weed and drugs and everything.
They wasn't saying nothing. Every single one of them motherfuckers that got interviewed did it too. Every single one of them.
During the interview.
Yes, they were. You already know. God damn, it's so fucking ridiculous. Listen, it's not much craziness going on. All I know is that we're tired of the Rona.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it. And,
I almost had a breakdown today just riding around to stores because was so disappointed with how things look in the stores. I don't know what your guys' experience are.
It's the same.
Going out.
You know what?
It's frustrating.
We were just, let's talk about that because last week we talked about how the retailers, a lot of them are closing down right now. And it has partially to do with the fact that people are not spending as much if they don't have the money. I think a majority of people are kind of staying back from it. So
then inventory in the store changes because
the inventory has changed because on average, each country, 60% of your product is from China. And
that's a wrap.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. It sure is. So even when I go to places like Daiso, which is things imported from Japan, but those things that the Japanese people are getting, 60% of it is coming from China. So it's double imported and it's not coming through.
You would think that would do a lot of interesting things with the economy, considering that a lot of those products still have to be produced somehow. So you think it's going to start up a lot of industry in those countries?
Well, yeah. So in Japan, the PPE that they're making, I think Toyota took over doing some PPE equipment as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could have been Nissan, but I think it was Toyota. But they went from being able to make 500 a day to 50,000. They X'd it 100 times or some shit. So they're working on it. And I think the US is probably going to trend that way too, because I think American made is being pushed a little further out now.
Now, I don't know if it's because we grew up overseas, but I was never that person that's ooh, made in America. I'm so excited to buy this. I didn't really care. And there are some people, for real, my first job, they'll be like, so your parts aren't made in China or anything. And this was before all of this went down.
Right.
And they'd be really offended if things were taken. I'm we have to say shit we're an international company. So we have a plant in India, we have a place here, and then we assemble everything in America. And that for a certain demographic and generation just ain't cutting.
Oh yeah,
they are upset.
When I worked at, do you guys remember American Greetings? I don't even know.
Oh my God,
yes. The cards?
They're still around, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay, so I used to be a manager at American Greetings.
Of course.
In Nebraska, which was crazy. I worked right next to Hot Topic, which was my first choice, but they didn't want me. So I worked at American Greetings.
It's their loss, sweetie.
It was their loss, and I got paid more. So I remember this lady coming in, and she was like, oh, these figurines are so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And she picked them up, and she was like, made in China. Made in China. None of these things are ever made here anymore, blah, blah.
Like your whole outfit made in China.
Yo, Indonesia, somewhere. And I was just like, do you realize that, everything you own is made basically out of the U.S.? Because, a lot of people here are too proud to have jobs like that. For example, janitorial stuff. People are always upset about immigrants taking janitorial jobs. Whenever people say they're coming in here and taking our jobs, they're not taking teacher jobs. They're not taking doctor jobs. They're taking very low level, entry level things that they can find. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that goes into what we talked about before in another show where nobody really wants to speak on the classism, but it's there. And that's why a lot of times people ask you what you do. It's not to really know.
To
it's to see how much
treat you.
Yeah, to see how much respect to give you. So you can't be like, I'm a janitor. Oh. You know,
Oh,
or
for
I
sure.
assemble faucets, or I make these clothes. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, even if you tell people that you work retail for a while, it was like, oh, you just work in service, like customer service, like
Oh, especially depending on what store you work
what
at, because
kind
if
of
you don't,
retail?
yeah, because I didn't
Mhm.
get that kind of shade when I was at a bridal shop. But then
Right.
you're selling furniture and you're just a little furniture girl. So
Yeah. Or like Target. If you say you work at Target or something, D is mad at his little cousin. I'm sorry.
his face turned all the way up.
Dad's like a dad. D's like a dad without being a dad. It's so funny.
He really is. He definitely gives that energy.
It's so funny. But no, I think that
That's a big jug, D. Look at you with that jug.
Wouldn't be the first time I heard that.
That big black jug.
that is so
Big black
done.
thick jug.
Oh my god, you
All
guys
that
have a
liquid coming
separate
out of
episode for
that.
I can't stand it. But no, for real, like I think have you been to the Dollar Tree? Because you know that's my favorite place to buy little
No,
trinkets.
not
and
after
shit.
people told me it was looking ransacked, like the
It
Walking
was.
Dead went
It's-
there. I'm like, I'm not finna
So
go.
I noticed in my area, because I frequent like 7 of them in my area, depending on the demographic, they have stocked it. Like, so depending on the store, it's stocked. And the other ones they're letting go. And I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. So you have to go to the good neighborhoods to go.
That's a shame.
Ain't it?
That's
Ain't
such a shame.
Because the people who probably need the Dollar Tree merchandise are not in those neighborhoods.
At all.
Nope, it's not.
That's why they look out of place when they come to your side, because I'd be considered to live on a nicer side of town.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I ain't gonna lie, I've done it before where I'm looking like, I know you don't live out here. What you doing out? But it's
Damn.
Broke ass.
Well, not with your broke ass. No, some people look very, their side of the city.
Not their side. Randy's so bougie. So bougie. That's why people tell you that you are mean.
Classic bougie.
So bougie. I mean,
I'm not
bougie
mean.
too. Bitch. Remember we discussed the picture from the wedding thing you went to? Remember that? And you said yourself that you looked.
Okay, I look like that, but I don't really be like that.
But what you just said was mean, so that makes it double.
Was it
fucking
though,
true.
or was it true?
Oh.
Is it mean if it's true?
I mean,
Is it even shade if it's true?
I mean, the delivery though, I'm sure your face said
Well,
it
nigga,
all.
I don't work for UPS. I ain't gonna work on my delivery. Fuck y'all.
I can't stand you. No. Anyway.
I know FedEx ass bitch.
Okay,
Oh.
FedEx ass hoe. Oh, Amazon Prime ass bitch.
Wow. And they really don't. They really don't care. Amazon Prime don't give a fuck. I have already sent how they tell you how was my delivery and shit, and I'm like terrible, because nobody ever listens to put it behind the fucking bushes.
Hey, did you see that meme where it was Amazon Prime hiding a package, and all they did was put down a package with some pebbles on top?
Yes, I literally do. So one time, this fucking Amazon person, because mine says put it on the porch behind the bushes so you can't see it right from the street. This motherfucker put it inside of the fucking bushes. My package inside the bushes, and it was just hanging.
So you have to forage through.
Not forage through, rummage.
I was like, you know what? Speaking of foraging through things, why did they just find an Ice Age cave bear in Russia?
Like the movie? Ice Age? What?
They found a Ice Age cave bear intact in Russia around the New Siberian Islands up there.
How do you know it's not
genetically trying to bring this bitch
you
to
already
life?
know.
Yeah, I was gonna say they on some Jurassic Park shit.
Somebody need to send Goldblum up there and tell him not to do it.
Yes.
Because you already heard what's happened naturally due to global warming with the bears, right?
Right.
So polar bears are having to come onto land because they all about the ice. So they're coming on land and they're happening to come across grizzly bears. Mm-hmm. And when a grizzly bear has a baby with a polar bear, it makes crazy bears extra light skinned ass crazy
Light
bear.
You know what? And
bears.
there we go. Another example of how light-skinned people are demonic. Thank you. I rest my case, Your Honor. Thank you.
But they're like bigger, and I guess they're more aggressive than the
Yeah, they
average
get more
bear.
aggressive. Yeah.
That sounds very light-skinned of those bears.
Basically, light-skinned.
Very, very Chris Brown of those bears.
Oh my god, so funny. It's too funny because I have a brother that's like that. I mean, I'm light-skinned too, but it's different when they're
we ain't
males.
talking about you, but we talking about you.
That's so terrible. No, but seriously, I don't know what they're gonna do with this because they just like announced it. But I'm sure if it's especially in Russia, there's going to be some serious sciencing going on with them
for
people.
sure.
I'm a little bit
sciencing.
Sciencing. That's a word. Like I'm sure they're gonna try to recreate something because they already tried it with the other DNA with the eggs they found of the one of the dinosaurs, and they tried to do it with the mammoth a few years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something running around that was like half alive that they like recreated and we just don't know about it.
No, I'm not surprised by that either, because think about all of the there's wonderful podcasts I always plug when I can, Lore. It's so good, and they go into the origins of all these stories. You get like Jersey Devil and Sasquatch, and I'm like, somebody saw something that wasn't right.
Absolutely.
And I think some of these stories are true. It may not be the variation we get now, but I'm like, you saw something.
Listen, I really do believe that any mythological situation or, you know, any of these stories have to have a base in reality for it to come about.
That part.
Like, I just really have a hard time that you have. It's just like Dracula. There was a man that
Exactly.
He didn't suck blood, but he damn near killed 10,000 people and bathed in their blood.
And between that story and then the story about a woman who was buried alive.
Yes.
And was scratching it. And that's where they came up with those bells. And then another fun fact, that's where that term Saved by the Bell comes from, because they would ring the bell that was tied to the string for the coffin if they were alive. So there you go. There's your fun fact for today.
But you know, it's weird. If we see some weird bears other than the light-skinned ones running around, we know.
Bring them dark-skinned bear would never.
And then, okay, so the other one was that there is potentially alien life on Venus. They found some gas. It's called the phosphine gas that's only secreted by like microbes that inhabit Earth right now. They've never found it anywhere else, which is really weird. Like last week it was the fucking moon is rusting. And then this week it's microbes on Venus. Yeah, the moon.
Oh yeah, you weren't here.
Look at these faces. Oh, now, children. Now, children.
I can take 3. Okay. What else?
That one in every hole.
Okay.
One in every hole.
Please,
put that black jug down.
Turn around and just leave me.
Y'all please stop using your drinks to like. Stop. Put the drill down. I can't.
Please.
I can't. Look at Rob looking at me. I don't know. Dude, what?
Put the drill down. He just looks over like, what the
fuck? Because, you know, he can't hear the conversation. He just hears me reacting. So he's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Rob just needs to get used to it.
And then he gets to listen to the whole thing and tie it all together. Like, it's great. And then he comes home and discusses it. He was like, I heard that episode. I was like, yeah, it happens. I was like, well, get ready because we started the sex angle. He was like, yeah. All right. I was like, well, you know, if you don't want to hear my stories, you're just gonna have to skip it. I can't tell you. Just skip it. But so like weird things, you know, they've been declassifying like all the stuff for outer space. They've been funding Space Force. There's a show on Netflix about it. It's a comedy. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, Space
Is that
Force.
The one with Steve
Carell? Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
It's so good, and Malkovich is in it too. He's like his other partner, like the science partner, and they're like ridiculously funny. And if you're a military brat or grew up in the military or was in the military, that shit is nostalgic. They have like the Roach Coach where they get their food and shit like that. Yeah, it just made me feel like super nostalgic.
Were they eating the MREs?
they had like the mess hall looking place too, like the cafeteria.
Oh, they
everything.
took it back.
Yeah, it's really good. It's only one season so far, but y'all should watch it. Lisa Kudrow is his wife who got incarcerated.
I know they're a mess together because she's really funny.
It's great,
she's
and I love
way
her.
better off of Friends. The little bit I've seen her on Friends does not do her acting job justice. didn't use her right on that show.
And she's the only one who let herself age naturally, and I rather
she looks good because everybody else did the, you know.
Dude, like,
but we gonna give Jen a pass because Brad stressed that ass out, so she can can look how she wants.
Courtney though? Courtney's
a little leathered.
Leather.
You remember she had her spin off like Cougar Town, and she was trying to be like, it was, that girl, and I'm like,
She looks scary in it, so I had to go. Before we go to our break, y'all seen the mystery jetpack guy in LA a few days ago?
Elon Musk.
Huh? I said it was Elon Musk too. I posted that. I was like, you know damn well Elon Musk and his team or him himself was probably up there on the fucking jetpack, like. So apparently, they said there was a secret project. Nobody is saying what it was. The FBI says that they're investigating. There's no real results from it at all. So nobody has been named. Nobody has been said to be the one who was flying. The pilots haven't said anything other than that they've seen this dude in the jetpack. But remember that it's 3,000 feet in the air. So,
honey,
I'm saying, so
what is going on?
It's just a lot of mysterious shit going on this week.
Is it Iron Man?
Fucking Stark Industries. Stark Industries. I mean, you know, there is reality in fiction, so who knows? Maybe there is a company out there that's like Tony Stark's, and they've been doing shit, like, you know. I don't think know. You never know because everybody who
it's got to be based in some type of reality.
Yeah, people grew up on Marvel and stuff. Look at how much stuff they create based on the things that we watched as a kid. Like people grow up and actually get into that industry and make it happen. Cell phones. If you grew up watching Star Trek, you would have never thought like this Zoom call was happening on Star Trek when they had the screen up and they were talking to each other.
I really thought we was gonna be on some jets and shit a long time ago.
That might be a little.
I did.
You guys grew up. There's gonna be flying cars.
Flying cars. Now I'm like, you bitches can barely drive on the road. I don't want none of y'all niggas in the air.
They had flying cars in the 60s or 70s. It wasn't very controllable.
Are they like hovering?
It was hovering. So I'm more like I'm leaning towards the side of they actually already have it, and they just don't want to because they released technology about 50 years apart for us, for the majority of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like think about like remote controls. Like they use that shit in NASA first to talk to each other between in the spaceships and stuff and to control things up there. And once that was patented and they got used to using it, they released it and so people could make remote controls for our TV. And that took like what 30 years for us to get it.
It's really kind of creepy to see how far we've come in that amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, can we just talk about this mystery call I got today from a random
Are we
number?
going? Or are we going on our break?
Our break. But have you guys gotten a call that says, let me pull it up because I posted it. And then on our Facebook and on our podcast page, people said they got it too. One of the persons said they got it twice in one day, but basically it was it was an unknown number and it was a robotic female voice and it says, "Hello, this is a test call. It's time to stay safe and stay home." And then it hung up. Nigga.
What in the purge? Going fucking
I was like, so because I answer every single call, even if I don't know the number, because I was like, it could be for my bakery, right? Bitch. So I was like, I like threw my phone. I was like, click bye. I can't. I don't know what that was about. We're not
playing that.
So I'm gonna research it and we'll see what that's about. Maybe next week I'll have more information. Anyway, we're gonna go and break and then come back to celebrity fucking events and news.
D's face.
We're back.
We back and we black. We back and we black.
Oh my God.
If you book crime mob ho. All right. So in celebrity news, guess who a few hours ago started tweeting up a storm? Your boy Jesus, our Lord and Savior.
Not
He has started.
What is Kanye up to? What is he
now
tweeting
this time
about?
is not that bad because he's talking about some real shit. So he said, this is what has me worried about him because you know what we believe here on the Triangle.
Right.
So he's saying, I'm not industry. I don't care. I'm in service to Christ. We need world healing. I miss my brothers. I refuse to argue with black men on labels we don't own, even Twitter. I have the utmost respect for all brothers. We need to link and respect each other. No more dissing each other on labels we don't own. Now, he keeps going from this point, and he's talking about deals that Travis Scott made and Steve Stout and all these producers and music people that he knows. And the only reason now this worries me is because anytime an artist has really decided, I'm going to take control of my image,
they die.
my money, I'm telling you, Prince was on it, Michael, or you're played like you're crazy. Now that I've noticed, it seems like the industry does the crazy stuff to people that don't have as much reach, but those people that have a mass reach, they're out. 86 done. So we got to keep the good vibes or prayers or whatever you do.
I'm gonna go look
there.
On Twitter because I want to go reach. I mean, I'm still on this thing with Kanye because the fact that somebody like, I respect Dave Chappelle a lot, and for him to fly out that one time where he was losing it and to go help him, that means that Dave probably knows something about Kanye's lifestyle and the people around him that we don't know anything about.
Yeah,
he knows what's up.
And then segueing to something else I was going to mention, with the Kardashians supposedly ending their run at the show, I would not be surprised if maybe the show doesn't end, the younger kids pick it up and they keep going with it, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Kim decided, I'm going to keep selling my little clothes and makeup,
I'm sure.
and keep doing what I'm doing, because she's making moves politically, a lot of times not even saying things about it, but she's doing what a lot of people would not want to do, and that's meeting with the opposing side. As much people want to say, hey, I hate this person, hate that person, if that person has the power, unfortunately, that's who you have to meet with. That's who you have to break bread with to get something done. It's like when everybody was going off on Jay-Z about trying to make a deal and going to meetings and stuff with the NFL, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, and it's like, you don't know what this man was trying to lay out. You
can't hate on the moves that people make when they have the power to make it, and
you can't.
And you don't know if they're out for your side. They might be out for you and voting for you and rooting for you, and they just have to.
They haven't
taking one for the team. They
could be taking a huge one, and you haven't done your own. Shout out to Kanye.
Yeah.
You ain't done the research.
Right.
You don't know, so you want to be careful. Even LeBron, who basically runs the NBA, them deciding to make these basketball arenas places where people can register to vote or vote at. That's a huge deal when they're deciding, hey, we're not playing, but while we're not playing, we're also not playing, okay? Y'all about to do some shit, period. Because our black asses ain't going to be bringing in billions of dollars to each of these industries, and then y'all ain't going to do nothing for our people as a whole.
And you know what really had me messed up is because the players and stuff saying that they don't want to play basketball or whatever, and then the people coming out like they always do, shut up and just play basketball.
They meant that.
Entertain us.
And those people meant it. And then even what made it, I think, more disheartening is to see people not on the same page, because to get a little kumbaya-ish on the Triangl, we are stronger together as POCs than we are apart. So to see people like Draymond Green and, some other players that are just like, we got a job to do, and it's bigger than your fucking job. And if you manage your millions of dollars right, I'm more than sure you can stop working for a minute.
Like, I just wish everybody would come, like you said, come together. So like, you guys know who
fucking around with that one.
Yeah, I'm like, how much money do y'all get? Sign-on bonuses, endorsement deals? Are you fucking kidding me? And now you're out here like, we got a job to do. You're not getting unemployment. I'm sure you're fucking fine.
Your contract is fine if you just kind of cut back. But so you guys know who Naomi Osaka is, the tennis player.
Of course.
She just won. So right before she went to this last championship, she said she wasn't going to play the next day, to bring more light to the people who are being shot by the cops. So she had a mask of somebody's name on it for the 7 days of the tournament. So it was like,
it was different every time.
But the thing I wanted to say was that, you know how like our community, our Black society seems to split up sometimes when they're like, oh, I'm not American Black, like I'm Haitian, or I'm like,
they do the other.
So I know people are picking this up, but like Naomi is not American Black. Just so everybody is clear, she's Haitian Black and her mom is Japanese. And I really relate to her because I feel like I'm like her, where she like upholds both of her races like equally. Because when she's in Japan, she definitely like talks about her Japanese sides and being Japanese, but she also like goes for the BLM stuff too.
And shout out, because I'm gonna push her more to the BLM side. She with her brother. You dating a nigga. So I'm like, so again, like I tell a lot of people, your fucking bread is buttered. So I put more pressure on people like that in that have that reach. And I love that she rose to the occasion and decided, you know what, I'm going to stick this out. Because as we talked about on episodes before, and as I talked about on What the Shit, shout out to DC, go check that out on YouTube, Facebook, IG, pimping them out. But I just really have a disdain for people that are mixed and they act like they can't love both sides.
Oh, absolutely.
And they do that whole thing where they're like being black when it's cool to be black, and she didn't do that. And I love that she's basically like you said, not American black, but still like, I'm y'all, because the people that are dying, they are American black, okay?
Right.
So she chose a side, and I love that she represented with her mask, and big ups. I'm like, I wish
she even did the interview. Like they've been, and you know, the only thing I hated about this whole situation is the Japanese media, because Japan has been known to be pretty racist as well, and they have only recently like been, I guess, supportive of mixed people only because they make them look good. Like the what's his face that went to the NBA, that he has commercials. Naomi has commercials too in Japan. Like they're only usually okay with the mixed person, especially half black, if you are doing something for them. Like if it was just me living my life in mainland Japan, not Okinawa, because that's a different community, in like mainland Japan, I would have a harder time than the rest of them.
You damn sure would.
Even if I speak the language, people would be surprised. People are always surprised that I spoke the language so well when I went to.
That used to trip me the fuck out. Like that's the only. Like this.
That was my first language. Yeah. Like.
They're like, sure it is, girl. So, also in a couple other news bits, Gladys Knight versus Patti Labelle. And
oh my God, I almost forgot. Yes.
First of all, I am always and forever team Patti because she fucking messy as shit.
Oh, Patti.
She's so shady.
Listen, and she Patti.
First of all, I'm gonna give them props for the wigs and the outfits was on point. The mamas came to play. They were sitting, baby. They were together. Gladys Knight had on this gorgeous sequin, like rose-colored suit, and Patti Labelle had on the stilettos, pumps. And like they look so cute. What was her name? Diane. Help me out. Diane, not Diane Carroll. Yes, thank you. I knew it was Diane. Yeah. She came out at the end, and they all sang together. It was honestly very classy and beautiful. They were doing that kind of like old auntie thing where they talking too much,
right? Like the Monica and Brandy one.
Child, that was different. This was like, okay, I want this tea, but not right now.
Yeah, so, yeah. I do love Miss Patti. Like, if Prince had a grandmother, I feel like it would have been Miss Patti.
It would, yeah, for sure.
Oh, what are you talking? Because she's so shady.
They're my
I love it.
Favorites. Like, have you guys like just sat there and watched Prince interviews?
A Prince interview? No. Who rivals Prince interviews? Whitney Houston.
Oh,
their interviews are so
my top 3 things to watch.
Do not give a fuck, and I love it.
They don't.
Last thing mentioning Dancing with the Stars premiered today.
Oh my God.
I love it. I normally watch every season, but the last couple seasons
I have not watched it in
oh my God.
years.
It was a ritual with me and my mom. I'd go over every Monday night and we are clowning and laughing. So only people I'm kind of checking for this season. As soon as I heard AJ from Backstreet Boys be on, I
knew you were going to say that. I do.
Love you, AJ. I'm rooting for you. Mr. Nelly, E-I-E-I-O is up there.
Wait, Nelly's on this season
Nelly
too?
is on it.
I might have to check it out.
Is it true that Carol Baskin is on
yes, and Carol Baskin. Because she killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Hey, the Tigers, they smack it.
Did you guys watch Tiger King, by the way? Did you guys?
Of course I did, bitch. I was telling you to watch.
Oh my God. Did you watch Tiger King?
I watched the first 3 episodes and got really depressed and turned that shit off.
It was too real. It was too real.
That shit was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? I think I need to finish it just to have some closure.
You have got to finish it. You have to I guess he's in jail in the next state over from me, and they're like petitioning to get him out right now. And I saw a rumor article, I didn't dig in too deep, that they found like her husband's bones somewhere, or ex-husband.
Shut up.
So I'm gonna go look. I don't know.
Was it in some fucking tiger vomit?
I don't. That shit is crazy. I still think Carol did. I mean, Carol Baskins did it.
Period. Oh, she did it.
Period.
And then, period. Before we get out of here, we have our Stump CJ questions. I love it. So far, we are tied, people.
We're
Feel
1
free.
to 1.
1-to-1. Feel free to go to any of our pages, really, except for D. He's not going to pay attention. But you can go to our personal pages or the main podcast page to submit trivia questions.
3 years later, like, sorry, what?
But preferably send them to Oh So You're Brandy on IG. That way CJ can't see the answers.
Yeah, that way I don't know about it.
Not that she would cheat. She's a woman of integrity.
I am.
She is.
Send it
But
to Brandy, but it'd be better.
I like to do some questions that are on the spot of what we're talking about. So I want to know, CJ.
Yes.
For the Triangle, Kris Jenner, Jesse Jackson.
Oh God.
Jesse Jackson.
Cookie Jenner Jackson.
Cookie Jenner Jackson. That's my name right now.
That's her name.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt made that says that.
I would love that. So I want to know how many viewers did Tiger King special have?
Oh God.
You have 4 multiple choice.
All right, let's go. I feel like I can get this.
I think you can too. We have 28 million. We have 47 million. We have 34 million. And we have 65 million viewers.
Listen, if Monica and Brandy can get 1.2 million people viewing, I'm gonna go with the highest for Tiger King with 64. Was that the highest?
65 was the highest.
Yes.
And CJ's wrong. So 2.
Damn it!
And 1 for CJ because she ain't shit.
Damn.
So she doesn't understand how good it feels. It's a fist in the air. It's the fist. You know how good it feels? Feels this good. Feels like,
Yeah.
You guys. No,
34 million was the correct answer, but that's still high as fuck.
mean, that's really good.
That's still a lot.
Because it was in the top 10 for Netflix for a while.
A long time.
So, I mean, like, me and Rob just wanted to finish in one sitting, but we're adults, so we couldn't. We had, we had to go to sleep at night, so we did it in but we still did it in 4 days, though. Like, we watched it back to back. But what got me, the best part for me was that fucking engagement or wedding photo that Carol Baskins and her new.
Wait a minute.
On the beach.
Oh God.
With the collar. Like, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But it's pretty intense. Like, she's definitely got something that's twisted about the cats, because she was also allergic to cats when she was little. So for her to want a zoo with all these big cats in it, something up there got twisted somewhere. Well, and then she got her little docile husband and fucking.
Oh God, he's so. We're not even gonna get into that because that's a whole other episode. He's so annoying.
So cool, cats and kittens.
Bye.
Carol Baskins here.
Stop. Do our outro, ho. Let's do
but now I do my outro. Yes, so it's the end of our episode. If you guys have, oh my God, if you look at them already, you say to do it and then they won't let me. This is the thing that gets
shake that ass.
Oh my God, they're shaking
what you
titties.
got.
Anyway, if you've watched or listened to our episode thus far and love it, make sure you subscribe to our podcast, any of your favorite platforms. We're on 8 different ones. We're also on YouTube as well. Watching it might be better if you're into watching Brandy and Dee dance at the end of every episode. The Newsangl drops every Monday at 9 a.m. and we have added an additional episode called the Single for grown-ups on Friday nights. Drops 7 p.m. every Friday Central Time as well. But that's it. Stay blessed, stay woke. Stay safe, be logical. If you're black, stay black. Be blacker than ever now. And if you're not black, support us. POCs and allies unite. Peace out.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.